extra.
Bow, bow, bow,
Today,
bow.
today we're
That's the
gonna talk
sound she
about the
wanted to
Real
make.
Housewives finale, the last episode of the reunion. Wrap it up with these ladies. Oh my god! Overall, the season for me was good. This was my first time watching
It was
the Real
great. It was great.
Housewives in probably 10 years. So that was my introduction back in. Leah, how did you feel about this season?
This season was compared to other seasons, it was kind of light. I think the
Yeah.
drama of it all happened within the first 5 episodes, and after that,
Mm-hmm.
it kind of fizzled out. It
Yeah.
kind of leveled itself out a little bit. This is my first time watching Atlanta in 5 years.
Mm-hmm.
I had quit watching it after the episode with Bolo and the Big Dick and them. No, seriously, like they made a whole. This was back when shows really didn't have a storyline and everybody kept showing the same thing. Everybody's storyline was COVID,
Yeah.
and so it was really hard to get over COVID when everything you're seeing is COVID. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, um, that was the time I just kind of quit watching TV, really reality TV as a whole, because it just didn't give anymore. I feel like everybody was trying to make something out of nothing, and it's like, listen, if the storyline ain't there, put your show on pause. Like,
For real.
you know what I'm saying?
I tried to get
So
back into what was it? Atlanta, Love and Hip Hop Atlanta.
I quit watching that when
But
it
it
when
was
it when it went off the air. That's when I stopped watching it.
yeah,
But
when they went and did their COVID season and there was nothing for none of them to do because they did a lot of stuff in clubs and things like that. So they couldn't do that. So it was kind of boring. Real boring. I think they called it like quarantine. No, love and something, loving at home. Child, I don't remember.
they had the
But
family reunion that they had tried to do.
yeah, they
And
they
I
needed
didn't
to
watch
hang it
that.
up. Mm-mm. But the Real Housewives of Atlanta, the last episode of season 16. We're gonna first get into Shamia and Portia because that's where they started at on this episode. And I'll
That's
say
where they left
this.
off on the last episodes. They finished it up,
Yep,
kind
I'll
of.
say this. I was watching Candy Burst. She has like a show on. Well, I don't know if it's a show, but she does live streams on Amazon Prime. And she was saying that she told Shamia the other day, do not come back. Do not come back. You have a nice family. You have a lot going on. You don't need this show. And then
Yeah,
I saw a clip of the watch what happens live with Angela. And Angela said, she feels like Shamia's playing the long game. She got on the show because of her friend had basically the platform to get her here. And now that she's here, she's playing us. She was like, she doesn't act like that in real life, pretty much. So I'm interested to see how if she
I can
does
see
come
it.
back for next season, what she brings to the table because we've seen a few sides of Shamia, I would say. So I, I don't know. I don't know if her not coming back would be the best thing. I like the crazy thing. I do like seeing Shamia on the camera. I feel like she does bring something to the show.
Shamia is very fun, very like. I think Shamia is a sweet girl. I think she's
Yeah,
fun to be around, and I think that her storyline was very raw, very relatable, and I don't think any part of it was manufactured.
yeah,
And I think that when I watched the show for the first time in a long time, and I seen her tear up about her kids, I damn near wanted to cry because I'm like, that has to be for a woman who wants to give her husband the world and wants to give her husband everything, and the one thing he wants she can't give him. I know that is tearing her up inside because she's doing everything she can. And but she's like, he's not gonna leave me if I don't give him a boy. It is what it is. Like we're trying, and he's very well aware of my situation, but it's not like the end all be all.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying? And I think for her, it's one of the things where she really is. She can be relatable, even though she's a girl that has a nice family, has all the money, all the things. I think she's relatable in some aspects, but there are a lot of things about Shamia that I seen this season, even when they did the reunion and they started to rewind it and add more context. Now they could do that.
hmm
I'm like, I don't like that about you. And we're gonna get into that a little bit. I'm gonna say my thoughts on like Shamia as overall as a friend a little bit later after we talk after we do her apology. Now my throat acting up, baby. Calm down. After we do her apology, but um I think that I think that this was a learning curve for her and Portia
Yeah.
when it came to navigating friendships and things like that, and just trying to figure out where this whole how this show and how our friendship fit together. But I think a lot of people saw a side of Shamia that they were quite unpleased with, considering she's always been in the background. She's always been the friend of the show. So when she got a chance to be in the camera, it was kind of like, oh,
Yeah.
we seen things about you that we like, and we seen things about you that we don't like. And I don't think she just shouldn't come back. I think she should, because everybody needs a chance to redeem themselves. I don't think she
Yeah.
fucked up so bad where it was just like, bitch, don't ever come back on this show. No, I don't think that. But I do think that she does need to be mindful of the things that she says and who she says them to, especially about a friendship that lasted as long as a lot of these girls been on this show.
Yeah. I feel like with Shamia, one of her biggest problems for me is that she just wasn't truthful enough. Like, people would ask her things and it was very contradictory sometimes with her actions or with her words. So
Kind of
that
flip
was one of
floppy.
my biggest issues with Shamia. This is trying to play. Hold on. Hold on. Let me get this video back. Okay, let's see. Y'all can judge me, get me in almost, and I just really can't believe I'm in this. This is not the video. Voiceover on. Landscape. Video play. See, I
Now they
was
playing
ready.
what they want to play.
She's in 11 seconds. She's in 11 track the next video. Forward 10 play. Up. Rewind 10 previous video. Previous video. Video player. Button. Voiceover on. Okay, here we go. And if I missed anybody, the cap is family I never. So you could kind of see her mom and her aunt leaving the room. Just for the record, if you guys are not going to go watch her full video, just for the record, it was her mom and her aunt that encouraged her to apologize. Okay, can you hear
My
this?
elders in my family, they never steered me wrong. So I just want to start by saying to all of the ladies on Sweet 16 cast, starting with Portia, Drew, Angela, Britt. This music is killing me. This sad sob story music is killing me.
For real.
Kenya, Cynthia, Kelly.
Portia deserves a separate apology.
Yep.
I'm sorry. And if I missed anybody, I'm sorry. Phaedra even coming in at the end. I'm sorry if I've ever offended you, if I've made you feel less than, inferior, if I insulted you, hurt you, in any way. I'm sorry. And I hope that we can start fresh.
The background music is crazy.
I wish you nothing but the best.
It's so deeply unserious.
Yeah, it is.
Just into your heart and your household. And that's a wrap on 316.
All right, guys. So I don't mean to laugh, but it is a little bit. It's comical. Landscape. It is definitely
What the
comical.
fuck kind of you could have kept that apology? Let me get this off my chest. Let me hold this in all day. I have so much. First of all, let's start with the apology. Number one, there was no sincerity in that. There was no genuineness in that. If that's not a word, it's gonna be one today. I felt nothing. I did not feel moved. It felt like an apology that was forced. Like, if your mom and your auntie have to tell you to go and apologize, it probably wasn't something that you were planning on doing in the first place. It probably wasn't something that you had sat down and thought, you know, if I don't apologize, no, if I don't, if it probably wasn't something that you sat down and thought about and was like, I'm going to give out the apology. That's number
Mm-hmm.
one. Number two, if anybody on that cast is owed an apology, it is your friend, Portia. Don't make me call Portia. Anyway, it is Portia.
Yeah.
Portia deserved a separate apology from everybody. It did not need to be publicized. Even though I mean, you could have, because you publicly disrespected her, so you could have publicly given the apology and made it just as loud. But also privately pulling Portia to the side and actually being willing to say, I am sorry. I do apologize for the way I mishandled before. I apologize for the way that I recklessly handled our friendship, and for how I, talked about our friendship to women who, you know, really don't, who know you and, know me sort of, but don't know us in the way that
Mhm.
we are friend, the way that our friendship functions. I do apologize for that. I apologize for any grudges, for all the things that I left unsaid, for all the things that I allowed to fester, and for all the times that I never spoke up in the name of keeping the peace. I apologize for that. You notice how I never said if, because the
Mhm.
thing with a housewives apology, they are synonymous with using the word if I have ever. If I said that, you said it, motherfucker. You offended me. You know you did. If creates doubt. There is no doubt,
Yeah.
Shamia, that you got on here and you lied on people and you said things about that girl that she found to be hurtful. You don't have to say
Mhm.
if because she told you. There's nothing to doubt. There's nothing to second guess here. You did it. So
Yep.
now you have to own up to it. And I feel like with with um with Shamia, it just doesn't feel sincere. It was something that you really could have kept in your back pocket. And
I
when you
saw a few people as well said that they feel like Shamia needs to learn how to say how she's feeling in that moment.
in
I
the
think a
moment,
lot of
yeah,
people are confused on why she didn't say anything to Portia. It's like if that's your best friend, like Leah and me, we consider each other best friends. If something bothers me, I'm gonna be like, okay, let me check my tone. Let me make sure that this is not coming off disrespectful because you can say that hurt me. That I didn't like how that,
I
made
don't
me
like how you said
feel.
that.
Yeah, because we're humans. You know what I'm saying? Like we're fucking humans. So for Shamia to be 40 something years old and can't say, because first of all, she's raising girls. How the fuck are you going to teach your daughters if something is bothering you, say it the first time. Say that bothered me the first time and don't let it fester. That makes me think how is her marriage running if she's not saying, okay, babe, I don't like that. If you don't want to continue trying to have kids and that's something bothering you, say, well, this is not something I want to keep doing. This is not something I want to keep putting my body through, our family through, our finances through. Even if we do got it, I don't want to have to keep doing it. We
Yeah,
got enough kids.
it
And
does
if
make you wonder.
yeah, it makes you look at her completely different. So, what people were saying also about her husband, about him not being, him not wanting to film and him having the opportunities to just pop up on camera real quick, he didn't even need to say anything. He honestly could have just been there. But if that's something that he wasn't prepared for, ready for, wanting to do, are you like trying to force this fame thing? And I saw a couple people online also that was saying that they feel like Shamia just want to be famous, and it don't matter how she get there. She just want to be famous. She just wanted people to know who she is. Very interesting lady, man. Just very, very interesting. I feel like I have a lot to say, but I at the same time it's like
You
it's
kind
it
of,
I don't because I don't want to be a
yeah.
dead horse.
When it comes
So
to Shamia as a friend, I'll say this: there's this meme that, or this post that's been going around on Twitter or on social media that says non-confrontational people move so foul.
mhm.
Shamia is the example of what that post is talking about.
Yeah.
I'm somebody who does not like to be confrontational, and I am working on learning to say how I feel, not in a way where it's like I have to be aggressive, but in a way where it's like you're gonna hear what I'm gonna say what I have to say, and you ain't got to listen, but you're gonna hear me.
You
You know
gonna
what I'm
hear my
saying?
point, yeah.
Um and Shamia is the very definition of that post that said uh foul non-confrontational people move so foul, because in an effort of trying to keep the peace and trying to play that background role and trying to be a pick me friend, basically is what you're trying to do. Essentially, you hurt yourself in the long run, and then it manifests itself in other ways, and in other like parts of the relationship. I think with her playing that background role, her shrinking herself down in order for her friends to be successful, when she finally gets a taste of her own success, she's not considering like other people's feelings as a result.
Mhm.
And now it's caused a lot of blowback on her end because it gives you're moving real reckless out here.
Yeah.
And it gives you now that you got your little taste of fame, it's just fuck whatever you had before that. Fuck the friendship that you built with this one person for 20 years. And I'm not saying that Portia ain't that Portia's not that Portia is innocent in all this
Yeah.
because Portia has her own issues that and faults in this friendship. But it's like fuck the friendship that you've built that's been 20 years strong and all the work you put into that and like fuck the other potential friendships that you could be building. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
it just kind of gives as a friend who as somebody who's non-confrontational as a friend that doesn't work in the long run because you end up hurting yourself and everybody else around you because you're letting things fester that didn't
Mhm.
have to fester that could have been
Yep.
resolved. And then also too, I understand wanting to vent and I understand like maybe not feeling heard in your relationship, be it a partner romantic relationship or a friendship, and you feeling like you need to talk to somebody because otherwise you can't get it out.
Yeah.
Sometimes you got how you write something down as a rough draft. It's not your final
Mhm.
draft, but you got to get them thoughts out. That's how it is sometimes. I feel like when you're talking to people that are not in that particular friendship,
Yeah.
and I think that's what she was doing. But you have to remember, these women are already looking at y'all sideways. They're already trying to find something.
Yep.
So
But
whenever they see
then
a little crack, they gonna project what they feel onto you, and now all of a sudden you internalizing what they feel, and it don't
and
even be that.
and then seeing her with Portia for years and people not knowing if there was like a rift, right? People seemingly are thinking this is like the best of friends. They're like their hips are conjoined to their hips are,
Siamese
connected.
twins.
Yeah. So then seeing it on camera look like something completely different, it's like, what the fuck is this? So also I was watching Carlos King a couple weeks ago, and he was like, he had been hearing for the past at least 10 years that Portia and Shamia weren't as cool as we thought they were to be. But, season 9 of the Real Housewives was in this time frame, so that makes sense. I think Shamia holds grudges and waits to say something. And she's
Yeah.
one of those people, it could be dangerous, not only just for her, but it can be dangerous for everybody around because it's like you not speaking up and saying how you feel is one thing, but then years later projecting is a whole different thing because now it's like you're bringing other people into it. Angela didn't have to get caught in the crossfire. All the other girls didn't have to get caught in the crossfire
Mhm.
at all. But it happened because Shamia chose not to speak up. It's one thing to just be like, you know what, I don't have to put my energy into that. But it's another thing where you're deliberately holding back deep shit and then expecting people to just know how you're feeling. No, bitch. We don't know. Portia wouldn't know. And like you said, it's not like we saying Portia was the bestest of best friends because if Shamia and Portia was that close, she would have came to her other wedding. The one that seemingly it seems like was the end all be all to Shamia. But they had already had cracks. There were already holes into the friendship. I
Mhm.
think that was just the nail for her. And as we saw this season, just this season alone, Portia did have a lot of real stuff going on outside of the show that she definitely had to handle. And I don't think we can fault them when these women for having like real life shit happening. Things
No.
happen, stuff comes up, but Shamia just handled it so fucked up. It was just hard to watch, honestly. But to pivot from her, Drew and her ex-husband. Listen, Drew's ex-husband, what's his name? Ralph. He looked
I
like
first
he looked like a fucking Ralph. I'm gonna just say
Oh my god.
it.
I'm just really I don't know. The thing with Drew this season, everybody seemed to be coming for her and coming up with lies about her and whatnot. And
Mhm.
I think everybody in this season had their moments where they just were not at their best,
Mhm.
honestly. And I think and I'll give grace when grace is needed
Yeah.
and say that everybody in some form or fashion had a lot of shit going on.
Yeah.
I think Drew, Portia, Kelly, Shamia had a lot of serious shit going on. in
Yeah.
terms of marriages and, things like that. And so
Mhm.
maybe there were times when, that were when they weren't thinking as clearly as they should have been.
Mhm.
Um so with that being said, I don't like the dynamic between Drew and her ex-husband. I don't know why the fuck they said live in a basement. I think that was stupid. If I'm a
Very.
man, I would want to move out or, go
Mhm.
somewhere where I can have my own privacy. I do believe that Ralph had another woman coming up to the gate. He
Yeah.
gives me that vibe. When you left him with the Florida for 5 days and then call a motherfucker, that's some you so you didn't watch
Yeah.
when Drew first came on the show. When Drew first came on Atlanta Housewives, it was during the pandemic. That was our
Mhm.
first time meeting Drew, first time seeing, and I think she was newly married. No, not newly married. They had been married for like 9 years or 6 years at that point or something like that, and they had a their kids were really young
Mhm.
on the show. And maybe people who watch the replay can vouch for me in the comments. In the show, on the show, she said that he left for Florida for like 5 days, 3 or 5 days or something like that, and didn't tell her where he was and who he was with.
What the fuck? Not Ralph doing it like
They were,
that.
yes, they had an argument over something stupid, something small, and he left him. So your first thought is to drive to Florida, a whole other state,
Right. See, that
not cut,
reminds me
not
of
bust a couple
Latoya.
corners, but drive to Florida.
That reminds me of
Who's
Latoya
the bitch?
Forever. She was on the show briefly. She's a YouTube girl. And her ex-husband Adam were having similar things. So they were going through a lot of tough shit, and she wanted to move down to Atlanta. Well, from Canada to Atlanta. So they went through the whole visa thing. I think they got all that squared away. So they ended up moving and got divorced like not even 2 years in America. So that just reminds me of that
She
because they
probably had a
had
plan, and maybe
shit
the
going
divorce
on.
laws in Canada are different than America. She probably had a plan to take some money. I don't know.
Well, she's the breadwinner. Well, winner,
Not
breadwinner.
Red Winter. What?
But
I
she had been trying to get on TV, so that was her thing. She wanted the big screen, and then she got chummy. Was rubbing elbows with Candy and them, and hell, the rest is history. We saw her on the show,
I
so
remember her being on the show very briefly. I remember the whole fallout between her and Drew. She was on there one season and they did not bring her back.
because she's you know how we talk about like influencers going over to like these reality shows that's vetted, not Love and Hip Hop. We will never add Love and Hip Hop into this type of stuff, but like a Love and Hip Hop, not Love and Hip Hop, Real Housewives. What's another one? Love and Marriage Huntsville, like shows like that. So people try to like move them around certain shows to see where they fit. I think Latoya's personality is really fit for a camera that she can control, not for one that someone else can control.
Yeah, I just Drew and Ralph though, back to them, they had been having marriage issues since the beginning of the show, since the show had even started, since we knew them.
Damn.
And so them getting a divorce never really surprised me. The fact that they got married 6 months after knowing each other and they got pregnant immediately after doesn't really
They didn't
surprise
get to
me.
know each other. Wow.
No, they did not. It was you got to go back and watch
Mm-mm.
that season of Atlanta and listen to their story.
Mm-hmm.
It's season, what is this? See,
This
that
is
was season 16.
seven
This is, I
sixteen.
think that was season 11.
Okay.
Go back and watch that full season and just watch their marriage and their whole dynamic, and you can get a pretty good picture of how they are as a couple and like their marital issues. They just, I don't know. And I just feel like a lot of the lies were unnecessary and a lot of Portia's anger towards Drew was unnecessary as well.
She needed someone to put that energy that she had for Shamia onto fucking Drew. She that's what that was to be. Cause she didn't have no reason to act like that. If anything, her and Drew should have been, you know, confiding in each other. Her, Kelly, Andrew should have been the best of buds this season because they all were having a similar situation. They all were getting divorced. Hell, I don't know if Drew is Drew finalized because we know Kelly
I think they are.
and
I
Portia
think their
is.
divorce is final
Okay.
now. I
But
think
yeah,
it is final now.
I was a little kerfuffled on what her issue is, the lies and all that stuff. I didn't understand it. Now, what I did understand and feel and get when Portia said to when she was talking to Dennis, her baby daddy, when you were on these cameras and I'm not around, that you're like disrespecting the family, which I get. I got that. So for him to still film and not tell her,
I was trying to
Dennis was being
figure
a little
out.
shady.
I was trying to figure out what the issue was because I'm like, if it's business related only, right,
Mm-hmm.
and that's what they're doing it for, and it's gonna bring more like attention to Drew's album,
That's all he said. Exposure,
what is the
yeah.
big deal with them filming, and how would that be disrespectful to your family? I was trying to.
The text messages of him talking about it's all about the money. He ain't trying to get no sex or something like that from her.
Yeah, but I'm trying. But
Portia
even
saying
before
that.
those messages got revealed, I was trying to side with Portia, and I was trying to figure out how filming with him would be disrespectful.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm guessing it was more of you never came and told me that you were going to be filming. But I'm like,
The
but at the same
principal.
time, I'm trying to figure out why does he have to tell you that, or why does she
Yeah.
have to tell you that she's going to be filming with him? They're not out here trying to be malicious. I'm not out here on no trying to get with Dennis. I'm literally in the studio recording my album.
Mm-hmm.
So I was trying to figure out what the issue with her filming with him was,
Because she
and
didn't like her no more. If
and
they
why
were
she was
cool,
so gung ho about, that being such a big issue with them, and why she got so pissed off at Dennis. And I'm just trying to figure out, like, what was that all about?
because
Why was
I
that such a
feel
big
like
deal?
if they were cool, if her and Drew was cool, she wouldn't have had an issue with that. Point blank, period. Because if he popped up on camera with anybody, because we've seen the husbands, the boyfriends, we've seen them film with other people. Hell, when Cynthia and what's that one man's name? Peter. When they were together, Peter would film with other castmates. He was on the show. So like, you know what I'm saying? Like he had the opportunity to not just be on camera with Cynthia all the time. But Cynthia was okay with him filming with other people and didn't have a problem with it. I feel like it's more of like a control thing. That's what I feel like. Because Portia
I
didn't take
was
us. She had no control of nothing else in her life during that time.
I was very
So
much confused, and I would really like for somebody to break it down to me and explain it to me in a way that would make sense. And then,
you can't.
and I think that she just had so much animosity towards Drew because even Drew was like, but can you acknowledge the fact that I was trying to reach out to you and tell you
Hmm.
that we had something to talk about, that I was going to be filming with him? You try to make it seem like I never tried to get in contact with you, or that I never tried to, be I never tried to tell you. Well, you should have just texted it. And at a certain point, shit, I would look. I've been trying to talk to you and tell you I'm filming with your baby daddy. It's just for my music. Nothing else. Ain't nothing sneaky going on. Blah blah blah.
She was
Whatever.
ducking and dodging Drew. We saw it. She showed
But it was
the
like,
call log.
but it was just like, I tried. I called, I texted, I did all the things, and you acted like you didn't want to hear nothing of it. And like Angela said, you don't think like that unless you're worried about somebody doing to you what you did to somebody else.
Hmm.
Angela might have had a point
Hmm.
with that. She might have had a point.
Well,
But I don't know. I think this season Drew had a lot of people ganging up on her.
for no reason. In Drew's defense, for no real reason. She was they would be like, "Oh, are you trying to be messy with me?" They would try to shut her up, and I'm like, "No, y'all can say crazy shit to her. And she's not supposed to say nothing." And Drew would come back every single time.
I was just
Honestly,
very confused with why everybody has so much smoke for for
I
Drew.
don't know.
Like, what is happening? Maybe
I have
somebody can break
no
it down.
clue because she didn't really. Who was Drew cool with this season? Like genuinely friends. Was it
Angela,
anybody? I mean, I guess. I
Angela,
guess. Oh shit, that's right because of Tennessee, girl,
Angela. She
girl.
was cool with Angela. She was cool with Kelly. she was building a friendship with Britt, but
Well,
then
we saw how
that
Brit
whole stuff fell out.
we saw how Brit treated
And speaking
everybody.
of Britt is just she don't. Yeah, I'm glad she's not coming back anyway. But
She's a weak
I
one.
just I feel like Portia. I feel like Drew calling Shamia Portia's lapdog. Like in some instances, it kind of gives that because it almost feels as
Hmm.
though like you be sometimes condoning the bullshit that Portia does
Hmm.
instead of saying, "Hey, that was wrong," and I don't agree with that. And I understand like you correct folks in private
Hmm.
and you defend them in public. But there are certain things I want you to know in front of everybody. I do not agree with that shit. I do not agree with that.
See, but Kelly, truth be told, was the lapdog to Brit. See, like
Yeah,
episodes one through
definitely.
three. Cause when
Definitely.
she's hit Portia with the why you still that woman's man or something like that, that woman's husband. And it was like, what the fuck? Every time Britt would bring it up, Kelly would, yeah. And we'd be like,
Do he
what?
know about that baby doll? Girl, what is you
Right.
talking about? Like that was just weird behavior. I think Kelly
Mhm.
definitely did give follow the leader
Yeah.
real bad. And it's just like y'all and I'm just kind of like, why did it start out with you on that with Portia? Like you didn't
Hmm.
even you like damn, why did you come off so aggressive?
Very, very aggressive. Very, very aggressive. I don't fucking know. I guess to pivot to the next couple, Angela, the Oakleys. Let's just call them the Oakleys. Angela and fucking Charles.
He
Listen.
wasn't needed on the reunion. He didn't really answer no questions.
When I say I felt the same way, I was like, what the fuck? And then
Why
he
is he
getting all
here?
sassy with them. I'm like, Charles, you were talking to women. Relax. It's never this deep. Where's your husband? And Shamia was like, he's at home with the kids. I was like, yeah, girl, yeah, he is.
I met you at a wedding. Okay, you no, I
No,
was there.
I
You
was
didn't meet
there.
me. You knew of me. Oh, hold on, wait a minute, cause lower your tone.
Him coming at Phaedra, that shit was funny because she definitely tried to make it seem like they was like
Yeah,
the
now
best
that
of
was deserved.
buds. They
That was
was
deserved.
chilling and never gave that. Now you went to parties and that man was there because you was trying to get on, you was trying to get up in the world, and it never gave what you thought it gave.
I've known Charles for 10 years. I haven't seen Charles. I met him before at a party. No, and
No.
I mean I understand where Charles is coming from. You didn't meet me. We never had an encounter. I
Mm-mm.
was there in the vicinity of where
Yep.
you were, but you never met me. Don't say it like that because when you say you met me, that insinuates something totally different as
Yep.
opposed to saying I was at a party where he was once.
Him being in a relationship for a few years with Miss Chateau Sheree herself, Miss Spring Summer, Miss Spring Summer. I said, now
Miss
that was some
Joggers.
tea, right? I was like, I wasn't prepared for that one, but then Angela, I feel like Angela, because of their history over the years, has a lot of insecurities when it comes to him. So her asking him like, "Would you date Wendy? Did you want to date Wendy?" Or questions like that, like little things that she asks him, how they interact. I can tell there's still a lot of hurt behind a lot of things that she says to him and how they banter and things like that. And honestly, after watching Charles and getting to see his personality for longer than 5 seconds, what I can say is that man just old ass nigga that's just trying to, he just like, I'm just here because my wife is here. And he does not give, I'm overly affectionate. I have a
Yeah.
husband that sometimes is overly affectionate, over touchy. Like that's just his love language. He likes to touch me. And you would think I don't like him because I'm like, oh my God, babe, like please, 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 please. But really,
Please get off me.
it's a time and a place for me. But him, he like, girl, I put my hands down your pants and it's the president standing right there. I don't give a damn. So like I feels that. And that's what Angela and Charles gives. But Charles definitely be like, girl, don't be kissing on me in front of these people. Like, what the fuck? It is I think he's just that private. So it comes off he don't like her, but
Yeah,
that's
that's
just
not
not their
his MO.
dynamic for
That's
real.
yeah, that's not their
Yeah.
I'm somebody who's not like a big fan of PDA. I don't like for my butt to be smacked in public. I that's just too
Hmm.
aggressive. That's too much.
Not aggressive.
A little no, like I was on a date with a guy and we were walking, and I'm like, I don't really like for my butt to be smacked, and he did anyway, and ain't nothing back there to smack, but
He was trying
still,
to touch
it's
that booty meat, Shamia.
it's the principle. Don't do shit I don't like. The fuck
I
is why?
feel
That's
that
why we went
though.
on one date. I did not talk to him afterwards.
Damn. Was that the chubby dude? The one
No
when y'all went to go eat tacos?
tacos.
I,
For the first date, the first time
y-
I ever went on a date, yeah,
yeah.
that was him.
Child, he tried it. He tried it.
Yeah, he just doing too much, too overly sexual, just
Yeah.
too much going on. That's a whole story for another day. But I
I
say all
feel
that to
that.
say it gave. He didn't like her, but
Yeah.
like she just said, they're just not the type of people. He's not the type of person that will be overly affectionate. He's probably not even like that in private.
Yeah.
Maybe a kiss here and there, but he's
Hmm.
not one of them people that's just like, oh, that's not his love language.
That's
That's
not
not
his
the way
love language.
that's
Yeah.
not his role, and that's okay.
Yep.
That's he just stuck in his way. He has his ways, and he's set in them, and that's all right. If she
Yep.
likes it, then whatever.
Yep. Phaedra and her under explaining through the reunion. Listen, I didn't get anything. Like, she did not answer much for me. I got nothing from her. I don't know about you. I got nothing.
Next,
Yeah, didn't get nothing out of there. Dennis and Ralph having to then re explain that Dennis didn't want Drew in a sexual way is crazy. I think, kind of going back to that, I don't think that Portia wanted to hear out Drew when Drew was like, "It's not what you think it is,"
it is.
and I
I
think
don't really
Portia was
care.
so
Da, da,
mad.
da, da. Yes, you do. You care.
You definitely cared.
You
You
definitely give a
definitely
fuck.
cared. Yeah. I don't know. I feel like that's pretty much it. Because I mean, Cynthia was kind of just there. She was a friend of, so she, kind of
I think you
irrelevant.
know what. Honestly, I think that Cynthia is in the right spot.
Yeah.
Cynthia has done everything on the show. She's been, like she said, she's navigated two marriages and divorce. Well, her second divorce happened off the show.
Hmm.
But she's navigated two marriages on the show. She's navigated raising her children, her child on
Her
the
child.
show.
Yeah.
Navigated a friendship on the show. That was the dumbest friendship contract I've ever seen. That was the dumbest shit she could ever did. I don't know why you even thought to do that.
Yeah, that's
That was
true.
very stupid. She's just done a lot on the
Hmm.
show already, and I feel like when you have navigated like that and you put a lot of your, because you got to remember when this show came out during a time when, like, not everybody was so hyper aware of like, offending people and, feelings and all that type of shit.
Hmm.
When reality TV was great, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's like she's already done everything, so she doesn't need to give anymore. She's rightfully earned her honor, her not honorary peach, but her lifetime achievement peach for the
We
show.
don't know if she's coming back. I saw something about that she said that filming is going to begin next month, she believes, and she hasn't gotten her contract if they're gonna want her back. But all the other girls, I'm guessing for the most part, are coming back. Plus we might be getting K Michelle and some restaurant tour person, connoisseur person, Pinky. She's
Pinky
supposed to be coming.
Cole, slutty
Yeah.
vegan.
Oh, that's Slutty Vegan.
Yeah.
Girl, that is so funny. But
Now
yeah,
K Michelle gonna be a character.
Miss Kimberly
If you ever
herself.
watched K Michelle My Life, is that what it was called on
Mm-hmm.
VH1 when she got off
Mm-hmm.
Love and Hip Hop? She was a
Mm-hmm.
character in her own show. She had her own little crazy streak or whatever. She can
Yep.
hang with the best of them. Now I
I
don't
could
know.
see her
I,
and Phaedra having a moment. I can see them bantering real bad because they
yeah, but
mouths
I think,
powerful.
but you know who I think. I think that, okay, K Michelle could really get at Phaedra.
Yeah.
She sure got at Lonnie Love, because Lonnie Love tried her one day, and she had to straighten her out real quick a couple times.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm trying to think who else she could banter with on that show
Kelly.
that would be like, yeah. No,
Her and Kelly
I
could be cool, but I could see them bantering back and forth.
Yeah, I'm
And
trying to
Portia.
think who else. No, I'm trying to think somebody that like she could be. No, her and Angela. I
Yeah.
think her and Angela could really have like they could be cool,
Yeah.
but I also could see them going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth
Mm-hmm.
like that. And I also think if Kenya was still, not fired from the show
Yeah.
because she rightfully deserved to be let go. Because why would you do that?
Mm-hmm.
I think her and Kenya could go back and forth as well because Kenya know how to go gutter gutter and so does K Michelle. So that is gonna be
Yeah.
interesting to see how K Michelle, if this is true, how she fits into this group of women and how
Mm-hmm.
she's able to, just kind of make her own seat at the table.
Is she still married to that man?
What man?
She was married to a man, wasn't she? Or was she with the man, like a doctor?
Who?
K Michelle. She was gonna have twin girls or twins. I don't know what happened with any of that, or
I
like
have no
going through the
idea.
surrogacy situation. But she was with a man.
I remember that, but I don't think that's going on.
I don't remember. I guess we go if she's on the show. I guess we gonna find out next
Well, we might
season.
get to see her country career if she is on the show, if this is true.
I would like to see that. I can't think of anybody else right now in media that's in Atlanta that would make sense for the show. I don't know because there's so many good people that could be on the show. I just don't want to see them repurposing new people, old people from different shows. I don't need to see a bunch of that. Like, what's her name? Uh, what the hell? Kirk and Rashida. I wouldn't want to see them on Real Housewives of Atlanta.
Their
They're
their their storyline is too messy for
yeah,
Housewives.
way
Housewives
too
is more
messy.
of a we are rich and we're ghetto. I don't even like using the word ghetto. We're a little ratchet, we're a little rowdy,
But we
but
classy bitches over here.
yeah, we classy with it.
Yeah.
There's nothing classy about Kirk and Rashida.
Mm-mm. Not at all. Not at all. And I
I
don't
don't.
even know where he would like because he's a character his by himself, and we don't see a lot of the men these days on the Real Housewives, so he wouldn't even have a place. He'd just he'd be a husband of like. I don't see him and Charles going and sitting and having drinks and smoking on cigars. I don't. I wouldn't
Yeah,
see
I
that.
just don't think that that'll be something that that. Mm-mm. Love and Hip Hop has its people, and Love and Hip Hop, she is right. They are right where they need to be at.
That's like
Love
if
and
they
Hip
ever
Hop,
tried to
they
bring
rich
Carly
and they
Red.
ratchet. They wealthy, they rich
True.
and they ratchet. Over
Mm-hmm.
here, these ladies, they got the money and they can be a little ratchet. They can be a little
Yep.
shady, but they still gonna keep a little class
Yep.
about themselves. That's not Kirk and Rashida. Sorry, no.
Ah. But yeah, y'all, that was our recap. I don't know if there's another show coming out that we can watch simultaneously together. I don't know. Like reality wise. What else is coming out?
I mean, I watch Love Island.
I don't watch Love
Um,
Island.
I've been hearing a lot about Love Island Beyond the Villa,
Mm-hmm.
which is the people from season 6.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't watched season 6, so I don't really know like the dynamic between everybody, but they kind of spoiling it on social media, so it's kind of like you really need to watch it. What other reality shows though?
Because Huntsville is back. Love and
I don't
Marriage
watch
Huntsville is
that.
back. Me neither. I tried to get into it and I was like, this ain't for me. This ain't my kind of show. Like it is, but it isn't. I feel like I'm indebted to the Real Housewives of Atlanta. They were my start of watching reality TV
I'm
back
waiting
in the
on Real
days.
Housewives. I'm waiting on Potomac to come back, and I'm waiting on Married to Medicine to come back. I'm really mad that they didn't air Real Housewives of Potomac and Married to Medicine back to back like they used to.
Hmm.
They used to air Atlanta first. It'd be Atlanta. Atlanta would come on first, and then they would air. Um, After that, it would be Potomac because by the time Atlanta is going off, Potomac is or no, by the time I'm trying to think who would go first. I think it would be like because Atlanta used to start in the winter time
Yeah,
and it would
they
end
did.
in like March, April, somewhere in there. So like Potomac will be on for Potomac is getting ready to go off. They're about to have their season finale, and then Atlanta is coming on. And they're
Hmm.
just starting out. Or and then it'd be Married to Medicine that they're airing like a week or so after that. I don't know why they stopped doing that, but anyway, I don't
I
know
don't
what
know
else is out there for us to watch and like critique, but I know that this season of Atlanta Housewives, it was cool for what it was, you know what I'm saying? For me to just get back into it, I kept watching it.
what. Yeah, they definitely kept my attention. They did. If we find a show, obviously y'all know because we'll come and do live.
Yeah.
We'll just come back. But this was a good one, y'all. We will see you in the next one. Don't forget to check out um our podcast episode that we release. We gotta add it to our YouTube playlist so y'all can actually see it on YouTube Music. And it's coming to other podcast streaming platforms near you. Apple
Soon.
Music, Spotify, potentially Amazon. We gotta release more episodes. So
And we gotta
thank y'all
figure out
for
how to do it.
watching. Yeah, that is true. But thank y'all for watching. Bye y'all.